you're going to need 3 cups of bread flour sifted, 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of rolled oats, half a teaspoon of cinnamon and salt, 2 tablespoons of butter, and half a tablespoon of honey, and I have these little packages here that I'll be using, and half a tablespoon of yeast. And also for water, you'll need 1/4 of a cup of warm water to rise the yeast in, and a cup of boiling water. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to get my 1/4 of a cup of warm water, put just a little bit of the brown sugar in the water, dissolve it. This just helps the yeast rise. Put half a teaspoon of dry active yeast in the warm water mixture. Just give it 5 minutes to rise. Now while the yeast is rising, we're going to put all our ingredients into the bowl. The brown sugar, the oats, the salt and the cinnamon, the butter, and half of the flour. And also the 2 little packages of honey, or half a teaspoon of honey. I'm going to get a cup of boiling water from the kettle and just give it all a good mix. And that's what it should look like. And we're going to let this cool off a bit. Just add the yeasty water to the mixture. Slowly add the flour in a little bit at a time. Okay, now it's getting too hard to mix, so I'm just going to knead it out on my counter. Save the bowl because you'll be putting the dough in here to rise afterwards. Now for this bread, you only have to knead it for about 5 to 7 minutes by hand. But you can only start counting the time once you get all the flour incorporated into the dough ball. And you don't want a dry dough ball. You want it a little sticky, but you don't want it sticking to your hands. Now the reason why I'm doing this recipe by hand is because I want to show everybody that you don't need fancy equipment to make bread. You can make bread the old-fashioned way with 2 hands. So you don't have to use all the flour. You may need more flour. It just depends on the bread and the weather that's outside. You can also check out my no-knead bread recipe for beginners. And that's basically making a really delicious bread with absolutely no effort. So give that video a look. So basically all that kneading is folding the dough onto itself. See? Grab it, fold it with your hand. Alright, so I've been kneading this for over 7 minutes. And it's still a little sticky, it's not quite ready, but I'm going to show you what I do so it doesn't stick all over the place. I got a little bit of butter, or you can use oil if you want. Oil up my counter. Oil up my hands. And just finish the last few minutes kneading like that. And look, nothing sticks to your hands. Because I personally hate when the dough sticks to my hands. Alright, this bread is ready. I'm just going to shape it a little bit. I'm going to get the bowl that we were using and just butter it up. You can use oil if you want, but I don't just feel like using butter today. Cover this bowl and let it sit in a warm place for an hour or until it doubles in size. So it's been about an hour, and now I'm just going to punch down the dough ball. You want to do this to release any air pockets. Just going to knead it a little bit. So I have my loaf pan and I just buttered it up. And I'm going to shape the dough. Some people roll it out, but that's alright. I'm just going to use my hands and just roll it up. Like so. Pinch the bottom so it's all together. Put it in the loaf pan. Just push it down. Now we're not going to put any of the toppings on until after this is risen. I'm just going to put the plastic wrap over it and let it rise for an hour or so until it doubles in size. So we'll get back when this is doubled in size.